we're going to cover the season and we're going to lose potentially. Is that really what we're going to do? Everybody wants to cover winners. It seems more fun in a way. At that point, I had to think about to myself, how do I move forward? But I also had to have a conversation with the class at that point and say, hey, this is the story that we're telling. Win or lose, we're telling the story of this season's football team.
I expected that I'd learn so much, especially just working with such great people. Finally having the class and really getting involved with it really just taught me so much.
For one thing, I love football, so I was really hoping I was a part of that team. You need to understand sports in order to be able to cover them.
Pretty much what we did get ourselves into, I mean, there's a lot of work in the truck. I wasn't expecting to have to learn and rebuild a whole new graphics machine, but it's better that we do. So, I mean, everything that I expected, except the Cal U game, was what I expected to get into when we were here.
I think I expected, just to be working either football or some sort of sports thing. We were going to be shooting the football games and making a documentary.
Well, to be honest, I was concerned about the class because I really didn't know what I was going to do with all the students. But because it's a great group of students, it made the class simpler because there were so many.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2016 Kutztown Golden Bears.
We did pretty good in my mind for the first game. A few minor mistakes here and there, but what are you going to expect when you throw kids on some of them technology that they've never even thought they'd be using? And I think that we were like, you know what, this is good, but there's always room for improvement. And I think we definitely improved as the semester went along.
When we start off the semester, because everybody's sort of just learning, I think that you prepare everyone as much as you can ahead of time, which never really is enough because as soon as you get into the live environment, things change immediately. I entered the course with an assumption that everyone knows how to work the switcher, how to direct and how to AD and how to do those things. And so then it becomes just a little bit of sort of tweaking when we arrive. So we try to prepare so there's not as much nervousness. But I think the one side of it is that the students have to do their very best on the first shot. And the other side is that as the instructor for the class, I have to realize that it's a class and we're learning. So the first time around is never going to be perfect. And so when we make mistakes, that's actually a good thing because then we know what we need to fix for the next time.
Well, the first game, I was roaming DSLR, so I didn't see too much, but the first game, everyone was still kind of learning. Well, you're always learning, but we're all kind of new. We don't know how this is going to work. Maybe some of us are a little nervous. We make maybe some blatant mistakes. We might not take criticism very well when we do wrong. But as time went on, we were able to handle criticism a lot better, and we knew which things to do in order to get the best outcome possible, and we knew which things not to do, which things to avoid. So we got generally better and better and better, and then the championship game, even though things went wrong, things out of our control went wrong. Everything we could control, we did the best we could, and it came out very well. So.
This is actually really funny. So the game had first started. This is my first ever home game. I was really excited, that kind of stuff, and I'm on the field, and out of nowhere, a football player catches the ball and is running at me full speed because I'm right next to the end zone. And all I can hear is everyone screaming, "Get out of the way, get out of the way," and he falls right in front of me. I got a great shot at it, but it was a great time to be on the DSLR, but I almost lost my life, so that's fine. But no, it was a little scary, but it was really awesome because everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And it was really nice, but I was like, yeah, and I got a great shot out of it. So they were like, "Don't do that again." And I was like, no, I'm gonna do it all the time because look at this. I was very proud.
I was excited from the beginning. Like I said, I wanted to get football, and I love covering football. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of people who watch sports don't realize all the work that goes on behind the scenes.
I want to make sure everybody's clear on this. This is a group effort. Everybody needs to pick something, and everybody needs to do it. And the I can be there to help you stuff has to stop. If that's the group that's doing it, then that is the group that's doing it, because you are going to have enough to do. Pick something and be it. Don't pick 9 things. Pick something and get it done.
The most challenging part about doing graphics was really starting from scratch, because we started week 1, we hit the ground running. We had a home game. I don't know if it was that weekend or the weekend after, but we really had to just start everything from scratch and really look online to see what kind of lower thirds are out there for ESPN and NFL and those kind of football players, and kind of make it look as professional as possible with the experience that we've had in the past 3 years of working in electronic media. So it was a lot of long hours in the actual lab itself, but a lot of our graphics turned out to be really awesome, and we were really proud of them.
Kara is kind of like a dad teaching a kid how to use a bicycle. Kara will hold your hand for a little bit, make sure you kind of understand the gist, and then she lets go. And it's up to you then to either sink or swim, which is kind of how electronic media works. You need to know how to do it on your own, but Kara is there to help you when you need it, which I think especially for a class like this, I think that's a great approach.
Perseverance for sure. I mean, we started out kind of rocky, not knowing what we were doing. We hit our stride, and then Cal U happened, but we still attempted to put together a shot. I think the most rewarding experience was building the new graphics machine and getting it into the truck and having it all set up, because that allowed us to do so much more.
Yes. This is where the camera 5 would go, because then you're going to be more centered over here.
That was so convenient that you just had casually a quarter.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't even have my wallet on me. I don't know if whoever did it just didn't.
When you're a camera on the sidelines especially, all the players, all these obstacles, cheerleaders on the sides, people telling you to move back. So it seems sometimes like it feels like you're always in the way of someone when you're trying to do this job, but you just that's a sacrifice you have to take in order to get the footage.
It's gonna sound weird, but I always felt rewarding when I was a cameraman. And it sounds weird because everyone's like, oh, you want to be in the truck, but when you're on the camera and you just see that perfect shot, I know for me, I got lucky and I got to do the Westchester game, which we all thought we were going to lose to, but we ended up taking them and beating them. And I remember I ran out onto the field while they were celebrating, and I just kept getting all these shots. And everyone's like, nice, great, those are awesome. That was probably one of my most favorite and most rewarding experiences. Just being in there, getting all those shots, and being told like those were some of the coolest shots ever.
I was familiar with the camera operating, so that wasn't as hard, but I think technical director was one of the hardest, because you had to keep paying attention to the game, you had to pay attention to like what was going on in the control room, when the director said, you know, when to switch over to a replay or something like that. But no, I enjoyed doing TD a lot too. It was like very on your toes, exciting, constantly watching what's going on all the cameras right next to the director. So definitely a fun position to be in as well.
As the assistant director, you're really helping the director in terms of looking for shots that they might be wanting to use, or calling out for lower thirds if a player makes a good play, or a sack or anything like that. So it was really just staying on your toes and being able to multitask and see if this player does something great. Not only are you able to call out his number so they can pull up his lower third on the graphics machine, but also being sure that the director has seen everything and has seen the best camera angle so they can produce the best quality.
your keys for
Game day. Game
Yeah.
day. So there's a football game today, I guess? I don't know how it's gonna go.
These guys are just a little good.
See.
Just a little good.
See that there?
They don't have anything up here.
Those things are awards. They got a lot of them. See them? Look at them all. They got that PSAC West. And you look over there, they got that Super Regional 1. The number one, Super Region 1. Oh, there's the rest of the trophies.
It's a little intimidating. It's okay.
Just see how far it goes at this point, dude. It's gonna have to stay along the side too, so just be careful. Oh, this is not gonna reach.
We got to the stadium around 8 o'clock, pulled out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet of cable, ran cameras up and down their giant stadium, tried to stay out of the way of other people that were loading the cameras too, and we all tried to work together, dropped cables down from up high, had to feed things in and out, fishing stuff all around.
It's like Rapunzel. We have a fish, Captain.
And we were really, really set. We were ready. I mean, I thought we were ready. I thought this was going to be spectacular. And we were sitting in the truck and we were talking about something, and all of a sudden, the monitors just went black. And, I thought, oh gosh, I kicked the power switch with my foot because I was sitting at the engineering station. And I looked down and I wasn't near it. And I thought, oh my gosh. And all of a sudden, there was this horrible smell. And it was an electrical fire, and so Tyler Dempster's like, everybody get out of the truck, and everybody's running like crazy. And there was a little smoke, but not a lot. There was no flames or anything, so it wasn't like, so everybody got out, and Barry came running, and Tyler pulled out some of the equipment, and we discovered that the whole board thing was fried that controls the switcher, which is the main piece of equipment that you need to be able to direct a live production. So we made a phone call to NEP, which is a company that builds trucks that we have connections with through internships. Tyler called and they said, oh, we have a switcher just like yours, but we just shipped it to Hawaii. So we couldn't even get another switcher. The folks that were on site with us, Blue Ridge's truck was there, but no one carries an extra switcher. It's not like what you do.
And I don't know how much you can get.
The disappointment on Jordan's face.
That's
Look happy.
Everything's going wrong.
Oh, look at this. Oh, man, the switcher broke.
One minor thing.
All right, so the switcher's down. It's not going to be repaired. We can't get another one. So at the moment, we need to keep moving in terms of getting the cameras hooked up and everything. We're all the way here. We're not going to just not do anything. We have two options. We could just put you guys all on handhelds all day, which I don't think that makes any sense. I think everybody should man their cameras like they normally would. What we'll do is we'll run it all through the replay machine. We'll have Cody call it from there. All right, so Cody can look at the camera shots that we have. He can have the people adjust their cameras based on what he sees on the replay machine. Who is our technical director? Okay. No. Oh, Zach, you're TD? I thought you were replay.
No, I'm replay.
Okay. So Zach can use the router at the engineering board to switch cameras if Cody calls it.
Right.
Right? So it would be the same exact thing. You're just going to switch on that router. So it's cuts, there's no dissolves, there's no bear calls, there's no replays, there's none of that. Right? Then tomorrow, when we take this back, and Dave can announce, he'll see what we're cutting to. So you're going to see a normal thing, just won't see all the bells and whistles. So it's still important that the camera people pay attention to what Cody's telling you, because if you don't, we're going to wind up with all the same camera shots, and then doing the switching on the thing is going to be even harder than it would normally be. Yep. So this will just be a straight cut thing.
Yeah, it was deflating. I think that's the best way to put it. It was absolutely deflating. We put in a ton of work before the game. Everything was looking amazing. We had everything set. We were ready to go. We'd driven 4.5 hours. We slept in a hotel. We woke up at 6 in the morning. We were there, everything was set up, and then all of a sudden our truck went black and there was smoke, and it was just, I mean, sitting down underneath of the engineering bay where the switcher board is, and just hearing Barry Peterson go, "We're screwed." You know, it was deflating, because at that moment we all realized that like it was game over for our production, and it sucked, but it was a good learning experience in the end.
Collectively, some people might have felt like maybe, you know, this could have been seemed as like a lost cause, but everyone came together, they still stepped up. Kara had us do our jobs, you know, as we would have done normally, and if we couldn't, she found a new job for us. And it was still a great experience, and it was really important to us. So even though things go wrong, and that will happen in life, especially in this field, out of your control, you just gotta have a good attitude, and you gotta do the best you can.
I think the Cal U game is the true statement of Murphy's Law. And in terms of electronic media, Murphy's Law is always a possible outcome.
I think we did great. I think we're going to have an awesome documentary. I think our crews were amazing, and I think it was a great experience learning how to do all the different positions in a truck. I mean, I have an internship now with NEP Broadcasting out in Pittsburgh, building these trucks, and I would have never thought to do that before I started working on this truck. And so I think it was a great experience, and I learned a lot.
I think I feel pretty good. I think we got a lot of footage that we can like look through and have a lot of good stuff from, you know, camera 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the field and stuff. So I think it'll turn out well. I think if we have like a good idea and stick with it for the football side and also for this side, then I think we could just, you know, make the best of what we all have with footage and equipment and all that.
We work our butts off in class, making graphics, making promos, making sure all the ads are in order for commercials and things like that. We really had to be on top of our game and double, triple, quadruple checking all of our work. So we really did a good job.
I feel very, very happy that things went the way they did. I feel like all the invaluable experience I got was very helpful to me. I'm glad that Kara and the directors pushed us all, you know, to do the best we could, even if, you know, sometimes it hurts to hear that you're not doing a good job or you did something wrong. You know, it's really important when you look back in the long run.
I think you definitely have people like Tyler Dempster, Tyler Snyder, who always will stand up and take on stuff. You have people like Ariel, who is such well-rounded people like Cody, Sean, Jeff, just Josh Liddick, George Kurth, like Kevin, Kyle, all of them. Everyone steps up when there needs to.
You work real hard during the season, you know, and then it comes to an end. And then part of the class is to tell the story of what happened during the season. So now the work begins on the documentary on the football team. And because the class was so big, you know, there's this documentary that you're all making about the class, making, you know, what they did all season long. We really had some people rise to the top. You know, Tyler ran the graphics, Elise, the leader there, with Ariel helping out, and I know she did some running of the group while I was on strike. Sean Reagan, Cody, Zach Esposito, Kyle, and Jordan. I could name all of the people who were part of the football crew, and sometimes I think this is the harder part of the class in terms of taking all of this information and all of the emotions, all of the accomplishments, all of the records that were broken, all of the winning games versus the losing games, all of the people who were injured, all of the controversial calls, all of that, and mix it all together with what the announcers thought about the season and what the players thought about the season, and then put it together into some kind of storyline that makes sense, that shows the emotion of the season, that shows the unity of the team, and how much they grew from the beginning to the end. It shows the excitement, shows the disappointment, and usually the documentary talks about where the team is headed next. So I think this is the harder part, and there's a lot of work to be done still. I mean, we have another week and it's going to be busy. So it's a different kind of busy. It's a quieter busy, but busy nonetheless. So it's a big part. It's a big part of the class. I look forward to the beginning of every semester. It's really fun to get a new batch of students each semester. This is a good batch.